Hello everybody and welcome back to the Train Brothers Railway. Today we finally have our parts. This is the on-off charge switch, which we've been waiting for quite some time now. It's a 3-position switch, so you'll be able to have one option. The center option is off, then you can have charge or on, one of the two. And this one here we're going to mount up in the body and the chassis. And we'll show you how it is. It kind of looks like a spaghetti factory of wires here, but we're going to neaten it up and then I'll show you guys. Alright, so this is the second on-off charge switch that we have. So this is going to be able to show you guys what it is. So this is the charge port for the on-off charge switch. Then this port here is the battery port, is where the battery plugs into. And then these guys here go right to the board. So this is where we decided to put the charge port, which is underneath the locomotive. And we'll be able to plug it in right from underneath to charge the battery. If I just move the speaker out of the way. This here, we've got the switch mounted under there, and it's right here. So this is charge, off, on, and it hides nicely under the smokestack. You got a little chip of paint there we can touch up, but there it is. It's all hidden away in the smokestack. So everything is hidden and you'll never know it has a charge switch or a charging port. And then the battery will sit in here. I just had the speaker pulled out of it for now. But we have made strides here since the last video. We've got all of our wires mounted up in here. We've got the motors, we've got the plus 5 volts. And this will charge everything. So this wire powers everything, and then the accessory wires here do all the switching to tell it to turn on or off. And then we have this guy running the cab over here, and this here will take some tie wraps or zip ties and tie them all together and make it all look nice and neat before we put it all back together. And then for the motors, all we had to do, if I can get this to focus here, doesn't look like I'll be able to. Pretty straightforward though. One black, one red goes to each motor. The other one is the power for the on-off charge switch. It runs along here to this guy, goes through the chassis right there, and plugs in to the motors. And all we did was reference our first video of which wire goes where for the motor blocks. We pulled out the track power pickups. We made sure we labeled the front and back. It doesn't matter, come to find out. I know in the first video I just labeled them just because, but as long as you have the right orientation going the right way, just make sure when you plug them in, both of them, that the wheel is spinning both clockwise or counterclockwise on both trucks. That'll tell you forward or backward, and make sure that the locomotive isn't trying to pull itself apart or squeeze itself together. Other than that though, we have everything wired up, mounted up. I think we'll check back in with you guys once we have it all mounted up, and then we'll be good to go. Alright everyone, well, it was pretty straightforward to mount everything back up. We just tie wrapped everything, made it all look neat in there, and then took the time to make sure everything fit in there nicely. We put the body screws on, tightened everything down, double checked and triple checked, and now we're about to do our first test out here on the layout. So our first step is to turn the RailPro controller on, tap the screen to have it come on. Then we're going to choose locomotives. Going to take the switcher out, but it hasn't connected because we have to go quite cleverly under here, turn it on, exit, do it again, locomotives, switcher, and there we go. All the lights have come on. So now we're going to fire up the engine. Alright, engine's up and running, which is good. We're going to turn the front light on. Front light's on. We're going to go over to the back light and turn the back light on. Perfect. Next will be the rear ditch lights that we added last minute, because if we're switching, we want those to illuminate the rails and to illuminate the hitch, so we know that we're coupled up when we have to run a late night freight. And we have some in the front lower lights. Those are working good too. And of course, the bell. And of course the horn. Now let's make sure we hook the motors up right. We're going to go forward. Perfect. And then we're going to hit this button right here. Reverse. We'll kill the bell. Now we're going to try reverse. Awesome. Works backwards too. And did you notice that whenever we go forward and put the engine under load, you'll be able to hear it. The sound actually goes with the load, so it's kind of load sensing in a way. Listen to that little rumble you hear once we take off. So every time the locomotive's in under load or pulls something heavy, you'll be able to hear that little rumble and the engine kind of pull a little bit. But that is all the steps for how to RailPro a G-scale locomotive. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below. And until next time, guys, take care, take it easy, keep it on the rails.